Too small. Still too small. Still too small. Now that's what I'm talking about. Hey guys, it's Dahmer's Cool Stuff again, and this is a special week. I figured Trilogy of Disappointment Week was such a great success. This is going to be the beginning of Borderlands 2 week, or Borderlands week in general. We're going to start with a retrospective of Borderlands. I hope to inform you guys of a little bit of information about the game that you may not have even known about, because I've heard some tidbits and I've heard some crazy rumors. I'm going to have an unboxing of the Ultimate Loot Chest Edition, and we're going to pretty much take it from there. So this is going to be a week-long series of videos about Borderlands and how much of a geek, nerd, / addicted, hardcore, man crush, sweating, insert random lovemaking reference here that I want to do to the game. There's not enough nice things I can say about the game. I mean, yeah, it's going to sound pandering and I'm going to sound like I'm a kiss ass, but I'm sorry, it's a fucking phenomenal game, and I think this console generation, it was one of the greatest surprises. Okay, so we all know that Gearbox Software developed Borderlands, and it started as early as 2007. But they actually got their start doing Brothers in Arms games, a couple of ports for different systems, but more specifically, and more importantly to Borderlands development, was actually the Halo Combat Evolved PC version. Now what Gearbox just realized what Bungie had done to make the weapons was a program that they thought that they could use to create millions of weapons, because all they would have to do is insert a different handle in the stock, and a different barrel, and a different butt, and a different grip, and a different scope, and pretty much Bungie could create thousands of weapons. But Borderlands took it, injected it with steroids and human growth hormone, and probably horse steroids as well, and that's how they came up with a bazillion weapons. Now when Borderlands actually was getting it started, it actually had a Mad Max meets Diablo type of feel to it, and it was very gritty, and then actually Fallout 3 happened. So very smartly, Gearbox decided to shift gears, so to speak, and switch it from a realistic looking game to a very cel-shaded, cartoon-like environment, which I thought actually improved the game tremendously. You have guns that shoot fire and lightning and electricity, and if you are good enough, there's weapons that shoot all of it, but basically having that in a realistic based game would look really ridiculous. Case in point, whenever I hold the Nerf gun compared to the airsoft guns. Do you like the big gun? Chicks dig the big gun. The story of Borderlands takes place on the planet Pandora, a planet that has been owned and abandoned by many corporations, mainly weapons makers. It got to the point that one of the companies, Dahl, actually had a huge prison system with a lot of prisoners, and when they were doing their mining operations, that's who they used, the prisoners. But anyway, a lot of people were looking for this thing called the Vault. Now, because of this, it actually attracted these people called Vault Hunters. Every now and again, you would get somebody going to Pandora to find the Vault. Brick, he's the literally brick shithouse of the group. He likes explosives and rocket launchers, and his 2-hour ability is actually he punches them. Fun fact though, towards around the game and around the cities and in some of the DLC, from what I've understood, it's kind of an urban legend, so to speak, that the posters that you see about a wanted missing girl, that's the reason why Brick came to Pandora. He's not really a Vault Hunter per se. He's actually looking for who that's supposed to be his sister. Then you have Lilith. She's one of the sirens, and apparently there's only 6 of them, and Maya in the second game is one of them as well. They basically can enter into a different plane of existence. They disappear in our view. They're in somewhere else. They're still in our planet, but they're in between dimensions or some weird thing like that. And they like elemental damage. Then we have Mordecai. Mordecai is a sniper. He's also got one of the most badass pets in the planet Pandora, or any other planet for that matter. It's like a big hawked eagle monstrosity called a Bloodwing. And basically when his special ability, he launches the Bloodwing. But he's also a sniper expert, and open confession, this is one of the only games that I can accurately snipe in.
Really?
Then finally we have the guy I originally started with, Roland. Roland is a mercenary who apparently worked for the Crimson Lance, who's the big military presence on Pandora. He's more of a combat rifle expert, and his special ability is a turret that opens up and can act as a somewhat fifth player, so to speak, that can open fire, give cover, heal people around it too. The main story is very weak compared to everything else, but it doesn't have to be an amazing, strong story. It's literally, the story is one sentence. You can break it down in one sentence. You're a vault hunter, find the vault. If you play first-person shooters a lot like Halo and Call of Duty and Medal of Honor and Battlefield and Counter-Strike, you're gonna notice a difference. There's gonna be some times where you're aimed directly at an enemy, you're gonna fire, and you're gonna miss. Because it acts as an RPG as well. You actually have to be proficient in the weapon that you're using. And depending on which character you use, they'll level up the proficiencies in their weapons a little faster. Rare in this console generation is the game that I start immediately after finishing. The second the end credits roll, I started playing again. It's happened rare in this console generation. It was Mass Effect 1, Borderlands 1. Those are the two that I started playing immediately after finishing. All 4 DLC packs, 5 if you count the patch that they released after the game, well after the game came out, to raise the level cap by 8 more levels. Perfect. All 4 DLCs. It started with Zombie Island, which was actually, zombies. But the humor in this game is so great that the zombie apocalypse thing happening in this plant just makes total sense. It's Mad Moxie's Underdome Riot. Mad Moxie's a great character. My wife cosplays as her. But this DLC pack was basically, for me, storage. I spent 800 points on storage. I've yet to actually go through and play Mad Moxie's Underdome Riot and get through any of it. Which takes us to the 3rd DLC, probably the best DLC, I personally think. Secret Armory of General Knox. This is where Crawlmax came in. It had some of the best weapons in the game. They're called pearlescent weapons. I'll be right back. This is all the pearlescent weapons and armor that are known in the game. In the Secret Armory of General Knox. This is how sick I took this game. The Secret Armory of General Knox was one of the funniest fucking DLCs to ever come out in video games. General Knox is such a great character. I'm sorry I was talking about the 4th one, but he is such a great, sad character. Like, if you just listen to the things he has to say, he is an old, grizzled war veteran who's now working for a company run by a little kid. And he has to listen to this little kid. And it's just, he's just like, yeah, the little kid told me to kill you. You want to know what my mission orders were drawn on? Crayon. Nepotism at its finest. Literally, I'm paraphrasing it, but that's what he says. It's just phenomenal DLC, phenomenal humor done right. And then it takes us to the last one, Claptrap's Robot Revolution, which was okay in the humor department. I'm probably going to wind up playing through it again, just to see some. It was the hardest of the DLCs, which the Claptraps are so badass, totally badass in this one, that they're expecting you to have really high-level gear, high-level items, high-level armor, the whole bang shaboom. But if you get through it, which is probably one of the hugest bosses in the game, it's pretty standard actually, and I liked it because, spoiler alert, the last boss fight takes place in the beginning of the game. When you get off the bus, that's where the last boss fight in Claptrap's New Robot Revolution takes place. It's touches like that that make me support Gearbox all the way. When the 4 DLC packs come out for Borderlands 2, they're going to make the second valid argument for what legitimate DLC should be. The game's already getting great reviews. I've been avoiding it, looking at it as much as I can. I can't wait for this game. So, this is Dahmer's cool stuff. I hope you're picking up Borderlands as well. If you're not, that's fine. It may not be in for you. But if you're on the fence about it, I hope that at least my recommendation helps you out. As always, do good gaming. And I still got a week of Borderlands to go, so I hope you all enjoy. And now, for something a little different. I asked a question a while ago. Where's my 97% more wub wub? Well, here it is. Your Max Payne 3 review sucked. Do you like the big gun? 'Cause chicks fucking love it.